It's about Faze. So there's two things that are gonna happen because we are like approaching the RMR, approaching the major, whatever, right? And there's this saga about Faze. Are they gonna play well? For the past year, remember they had 6 finals, and they just shit the bed. Now they lost in the group stage or whatever. The last event was it Rio? What was it?
No, Rio.
They lost to Mouse, yes. And when it comes to the RMR, Faze is either not the RMR and the major too. Faze is either gonna be in the finals of Shanghai or not gonna make to the major at all.
What an insane! I like the way he's basically created the largest delta between the possible performance. You're either going to be top 2 or you can't even be top 24 or something like that.
Yeah, I'll take the field.
I know. What sort of mad over-under is that?
I know. Reasoning, yeah. I need to give some
reasoning.
I know, it's mental in it.
The thing is, like, they have been so volatile as a team for the past year that it's fucking crazy to predict anything special when it comes to this team. They're on the verge of changing 1, 2, 3 players. Look at Kerrigan Rain. Everybody is like all the time he's on the exit, like he's on the door. Rain is always like being the one, is he gonna play well? Is he still gonna be bad? Is he gonna need to be replaced? Whatever. Then Robs is like not on his form. Then Frozen, hit or miss, Brokey. Some people say he's good, some people bad. So you cannot really place them in any kind of category of teams right now. If you look at the top 10, top 15, whatever teams, and you say Faze, where do you put them? You cannot put them as 10, but you cannot put them as 2 as well. You cannot put them even as 5. So they're just lingering somewhere. So you don't know what to expect. So coming into this fucking thing of RMR, they can either choke the shit out of it, go into the black hole of depression, bomb out, be completely dead last, just leave the tournament, finish the season, change the players, whatever they enter 2025. Or they can get hyped up, like we've seen them before, win a couple of games in a row, started winning, pick up the pace. Obviously, they have the skill. They have the good IGL. They have a good org. They have a big brand. They played with each other for a long time, and they can get things rolling. If you look at their results, if you go onto the profile and look at their results, they lost. They beat, it's so mixed. They lose to Mouse. They beat Liquid. They beat Pain barely. Then they lose 2-1 against Navi, beat Liquid again, and then lose G2 to G2 2-1. So it's like so mixed that you cannot place them as a team and a current form. In my book, like, you would never bet on them, right? Unless it's a massive value or the odds are crazy. But overall, I would definitely think that one of these two things will happen. They will completely bomb out on the RMR or make a deep, deep run. And that's why I wanted to commit to getting into the finals, because getting into the top 6 will be kind of whatever, right? It's not really a hot take. But like getting either the final or like leaving the RMR without being qualified to the major.
The spread is just too crazy on that one, just to say that they're going to I think they're going to qualify for the major. I put them at like 85% going to make it to the major, and I'd say their chance of winning the major is like, in my eyes, like 5%, 10% at best. Like, the field is so wide right now, and I would put easily G2, Spirit, Navi, and Vitality above them. And so, like, I think they're making it through this one. Like I said, this is a really top-heavy RMR that they're going through. The fact that 7 teams make it, I'm taking Navi, Vitality, Mouse, Faze, and then beyond that, Saw probably. And then, like I said, the teams at the bottom of RMR A are very weak, like very bad. Like BetBoom's also been incredibly bad lately. So, like, I'm not really, I don't see the side of this where Faze are suddenly not going to make it through this RMR when it's just almost historically top heavy. So yeah, no, I got them, and I just don't think they're also going to win the major either.
Simple,
I think they're a team.
Faze?
Who? Cloud9 somehow?
No, Simple.
Nah.
Falcons.
Okay.
Nah. With what they're doing at ESL at Katowice, Challenger Katowice, I don't think so. I don't think they're making it through. I also think that another thing is that, like, Faze, I think the interesting narrative for Faze for me moving into the major and everything after that is who's going to win the Yimpat lottery. Are they going to actually pull the trigger on cutting Rops? Are they going to actually pull the trigger on cutting even Rain for Exertion? What move is Faze going to make? Because I feel like of all the narratives surrounding MOUZ, who better than Faze is the team that's going to pick them apart?
By the way, you could even argue that would even be a straight fire trade. You put Rops instead of Impact back in a Mouse. There's the veteran star player.
Yeah.
Then you put Impact on a Faze, fixes both teams. There. By the way, I actually think, look, I'll give Kassad props. That is accurately a hot take. The idea they will either be top 2 or not top 24. That's actually about the largest hot take prediction you could make about the team. Problem is, I do disagree with it. Like, I actually think, sort of like Maui, I'd say actually the entire opposite. The entire opposite is they probably barely make the major and then come like 9th to 11th. You know what I mean? It's probably a boring one like that, if I'm being honest. The problem I have with Faze is, so far, it's not even like the old Faze. It's not just the case that, they just perform under pressure. It's more like they can perform like the real Faze, I'd say like 1 out of every 3 series. So that one series always gives you that hope of like, oh, they're back, they can do it. And then they just the problem is they don't ever win the playoff series anymore. You know what I mean? Like, they don't win that quarters that you expect them to do where they can make it dangerous. So if they were more like that, if they were still doing some dark horse shit, I'd sort of agree with the take, because I've always felt like this core did have like a crazy clutch factor. So it means if you want someone to do a crazy dark horse run, I mean, they almost did do it at that Blast Paris Major. People forget the end of CSGO. Like, if they'd have beaten Heroic, who knows? Maybe they would have been in the final. Maybe they would have won that one. They were sort of that sort of a vibe. They were coming back. So sadly, they haven't really been that sort of Phase recently. So I actually feel like they're a little bit humdrum for me. If you notice, I do a lot of bets, and back in the day I used to love to bet on Phase if they're underdog. I don't do that many on Phase nowadays. I sort of stay clear quite often. I don't feel like they got as reliable a quality. And I do feel like, by the way, to tie into before, this team's just like Mouse with their inexperience. It's the other way with this one. This one just needs a change just to have a chance to continue as a roster. It's just run its course completely, hasn't it? Like, you can even get the vibe now. You notice before, they used to be amazing in interviews that sort of never addressing the idea they need roster moves. You get the sense from the interviews now, they all know it's like winding down and it's time for some sort of big move to happen. So sadly, here's a hot take. I don't agree. I think they'll just be like 13th or something. It'll be sad. It'll just be a sad state of affairs for everyone. It'll be rubbish. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.